Welcome to another episode of Comedy Wham Presents with me, your host Valerie, and sometime kitty co-hosts Miss Purrington and Mookie. ComedyWham.com is your place to go for features about all Austin comedy. In addition to podcasts, Comedy Wham brings you articles, album reviews, our advice column Rochelle Takes on Comedy, our festivals page listing upcoming festivals across the country and the world, and our 2023 FPIA contest page. We're best known for our events page for live comedy shows in Austin, Houston, and DFW, where 100% of the entries you see come from comics and producers. If you want your show featured on the calendar, click the Submit a Show button from the top of the homepage or events page to complete the short survey. It's free and easy. Tag us on your Instagram stories and we'll share your show promo to our Instagram followers. Want to support these resources that we provide? You can donate to Comedy Wham on PayPal, Venmo, or even Patreon. Click the Support CW icon on our homepage to see the ways that you can help us. Now back to our podcast. Launched in 2016, the Podcast Project brings you funny people and their stories. As a fan, I like to delve into a comic's background and motivations, and will usually take a detour along the way. Consider the interview a way for you to get to know the folks that make the Austin comedy scene one of the best in the country. My laundry's done. You're welcome. If you like this podcast, please rate and review us. Today, we're talking to a former truck driver, and she did her first open mic about 7 years ago. She's originally from Detroit and has made Austin her home for the last couple of years. She had her name drawn from the bucket at Kill Tony, and her life forever changed. Not to be too dramatic, but I think it kind of did. She's since opened for Ron White, Tim Dillon, and Joe Rogan, and has performed all across the country, delighting audiences. She headlined the Velveeta Room in January, and she's currently a door person at the Comedy Mothership. And, side note, she loves to dance, and you can catch all of that on her Instagram account. And now, Comedy Wham presents our guest, Genivive Clinton.
That was a beautiful intro. Wow.
You're welcome.
That's the resume I wish I could write. You know what I mean?
If you ever need help.
Yeah, I need to. I've never been good at that. And, like, entertainment was it. Like, interviewing, resumes, cover letters.
Yeah. You just want to be on stage.
Or in the writing room. Yeah. But I know they're going through some things right now. I don't know. Like, I like this. I like things adjacent to this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just never was good at corporate and paperwork and all those things that you need to be good at as an adult.
Yeah. So when I was doing my research, and I actually have an official icebreaker question, but I want to tell you this, because one of the first things that I stumbled upon in my research is that you were a former truck driver.
Yes.
And that is dear to my heart because my father was a truck driver his entire career.
Wow.
So I don't know if you were long distance or you were long distance. So yeah, I remember the stories he'd pick up of, different places he'd go, and it's a tough life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to get mistaken as a prostitute or a lot lizard. I mean, when you're with a partner, it's like you got to deal with a close quarter attitude, energy, somebody else's whole, how they drive, their road rage, it's everything. And then when you're by yourself, it's like if something happens to the truck, and then it's like you're a woman out there, but it's like, don't think about that. You know what I mean? It's like, it's all types of things, but I did learn a lot about myself that I could do it. I had a lot of respect for other truck drivers, and I had a lot of respect for any woman I saw out there doing it, especially solo.
Yeah.
And and I got to see some of the most beautiful sights in the country, like just. Whether I planned it or didn't plan it, you're just going to run into something that you find beautiful in this country. Like, damn, it's nice. It's nice. I really like all parts of it. Like, I just found some beauty. I had some of the best conversations with myself. I had some of the best, like, prayers and, like, just, I fell in love with comedy, like, with the idea of, like, doing it. Because I would listen to so much of it. Like, I didn't know, like, some truckers had a lot of Sirius XM and stuff like that, but I didn't because I didn't want to buy that, and I didn't buy a CV either. Like I didn't get a CV until I worked with a different company later on. But yeah, I would listen to so much comedy. I fell in love with Patrice O'Neal. That's what really he throws your emotions for a loop as a woman. So I'm just, as a person, shit. So yeah, it just listened to so much, and I'm like, wow, it's so beautiful that you can drive for hours and listen to albums and hours of just funny people and I'm like, So I feel like I had to do it to transition to this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, eventually with comedy, you want to be on the road. You know what I mean?
You're returning back to it in a sense.
Yeah, so it's like, hopefully it'll be a little different.
Easier driving. Yeah.
A little different than trucking, you know, because
yeah.
it puts you in some situations. But, I think all things that you go through slide you into the next thing you're supposed to do, you know?
Yeah. Oh, what a cool story. Well, my dad I don't know what he listened to. He was actually really private about what he did on the road. The only, I know he would sometimes come back with things. This is how old I am. But when Mount St. Helens erupted, this was in the mid-'80s, early 80s. I don't remember exactly when. He brought back a little tin of ash because he was on a route way up there. And that, I still hang on to that. And, I don't know if he ever brought other stuff. That's the only thing that I remember he brought home for us. But, yeah. Anyway.
My stepdad's a truck driver. And, two people that influenced me to get into trucking was my stepdad, and I call him Pappy, and my ex's brother. Because, before, when I was I had 2 jobs, didn't have a job at all for a minute, and just smoking a lot of weed and just thinking about. I think I wanted to be a comedian back then too, but I don't think I was the situation I was in was a very lazy situation, and it was I really needed to get away. So I think I went to truck driving to get some discipline too, and to get sober for a while. You know what I mean? And yeah, but I didn't get out to do any comedy while I was truck driving. Okay. I just got out to party every now and then, but I didn't do what I was supposed to do. But
I mean, it got you here.
Yeah,
that's part of what got you here. Yeah.
At least that part.
Yeah. All right. Now I'm going to ask you my official icebreaker question, and that is one word to describe your past.
Doozy.
I don't think anyone's ever chosen that. That's awesome. I like that. Doozy. So you were raised in Detroit?
Yes.
Okay.
I was born in Detroit, and then for preschool, I was in San Antonio.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because Pappy was in the Army and stationed in San Antonio, and my mom and my elder sister came down, and we lived with them, but then moved back, and so then from kindergarten on to college, I was in Michigan.
So you probably don't have any big memories of San Antonio.
Oh yeah, I went to Kobe Glass. We were the Huskies. Every morning with the Pledge of Allegiance. That's how old I am. Every morning with the Pledge of Allegiance, we have to say the school song or motto.
They do that here still.
Still?
Yeah, my son. Yeah.
Kobe Glass, little Huskies, wooga wooga. Something.
Well, I don't know about that. And then I'm not saying your school, but the Pledge of Allegiance, they still make kids do that here in Texas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember my time of education in Texas at all.
Yeah.
But I remember a lot of naps. That's
good.
A lot of gym. I don't know, or a lot of gym time. I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't much. But when I was a truck driver, I always was in Laredo or somewhere picking up something, dropping something off. I didn't a lot of going through Texas.
Sure.
Ooh, the traffic was wild in a truck. I see why a lot of elder truck drivers limp and shit. It's all.
Yeah.
I have to stretch. I need to stretch way more than I do, but like, it's tight on your body.
Yeah, being stuck for hours and hours on end in one position, and the stress of like always being attentive, or that's what you're supposed to do, is to be attentive as a truck driver. I mean,
I used to listen to a lot of stuff though. Probably, yeah. I had to stop towards the end though. I was just, yeah. It just got, it just, well, you just absolutely don't want to do something anymore. And like, there's a process in which you have to stop doing it. Yeah. But I had a lot of mental health stuff too that started to arise too. So that's what kind of transitioned into, this kind of.
yeah. So you were immersing yourself in listening to comedy while you were working as a driver. Was comedy a part of your life before then when you were growing up? Did you perform, like, theater, whatever? Or were you just kind of doing your thing?
Yeah. In elementary, they didn't really have a theater department. Barely had cheerleading. Barely had teams. Like, kind of had talent shows. Anything that I could do, I would do. But they didn't really have. They pushed art in different ways. Like, there's this famous museum in Detroit called the DIA, and they had a deal with them where the kids would spend half the day in the museum and learn about art and things, and sometimes take art classes. So it was like pottery and different things. And then I had this really cool teacher that gave me a tracing book, like how to officially learn how to trace.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to usher you to how to mimic, and then that ushers you to, do your own thing.
Yeah.
So I started to progress in that, and like some teachers didn't think that I was like drawing these things for real. They thought that I was tracing them. So like they sat and watched me like mimic books, like paintings out of the DIA and things like that. And yeah, it was decent. And so it was decent enough that they gave me like some type of like scholarship to a program in this like nearby college. I thought that was pretty cool. And then like middle school, I did talent shows, and
Your
church did stuff.
Your Instagram feed is filled with you doing dance videos.
Yeah.
Was your talent dancing, or was that something you discovered at a different point in time?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just one of those people that just likes to dance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't take any classes or anything like that. I danced, have you ever heard of liturgical dance?
No.
That's church dance.
Okay. All
yeah.
right.
So,
All right.
and well, I tried that, but I always liked like the ratchet shit too. Like my auntie, one of my aunties, she like used to encourage the ratchet. Like you in church all the time, girl. You like to don't act like you don't like to shake it or move it. And I'm like, you right, auntie.
You do need an auntie like that. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm like, yeah, shout out my auntie Sharon. You right, I do need to embrace the ratchet side because I'm holding it in, and that's just not true to myself. You know what I mean? So it's like a balance. But yeah, so and then I hit 18, and I'm legal to go to the club, and had this one good girlfriend. We would go to the club, and at first I would dress cute, and she would dress cute, and then I just be like, I don't care if no dude talks to me. I'm not really trying to drink or do drugs. So I just want to like dance my ass off. So I did. But then I realized that dancing or dressing, basically like in proper club gear, it's not
comfortable.
It's not gonna get it. So I was like, okay, I'm wearing like cargo shorts and like gym shoes, and then my friend come out the house and heels and mini skirt and shit. I'm like, girl, you better go change. She was like, what you mean? I was like, I figured it out. You know what I mean? We are just gonna dance our ass off. That's what we gonna do.
Yeah.
This is what we do on the weekends. I look forward to it. You look forward to it, and I'm sick of our feet hurting, ain't you? Like. And so she's like, you're right. So we started to just dress casual and have a good time, to the point where like the DJ would be like, come on stage with us, and get to the different rooms, and like it was a good time.
Yeah.
And then I thought I was going to take that into college, but it was totally different. Totally different. I went to Michigan State, and it's a party school.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is now, but it used to be an agricultural, veterinarian party school, sports school.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an all around American college, but it's predominantly white, and I went to those parties, and nobody's
dancing.
Nobody's dancing.
No.
I mean, probably a little bit more now with TikTok, maybe. I don't know. College probably changed a little bit. I don't know how those parties go, but everybody had to get really fucked up, like, just to be social.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's sad. And then
you were really grown up and mature for that age to like have that realization. To figure out cargo shorts and sneakers is how I'm going to be the happiest when I'm dancing at the club, and also I'm not going to get myself fucked up just to have fun.
Well, that changed.
No,
that changed a lot, because eventually in college, I was like, like all my black friends for some reason, like they was either out getting crossed in secret societies and shit, or like it being secretive, or just was on a whole educational plan that I wasn't on, or just was antisocial because it was a predominantly white college. So it's like you either got to go to the frat parties or these parties, or that's it. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, or go home,
Yeah.
And so like I get it. And so one St. Patrick's Day, I was like, fuck it. Partying with white people. That's what it is. I had this one good girl in my dorm, my good girlfriend in my dorm, and I was like, you know what? I want to get fucked up. How much money do I need? Like, you know what I mean? The St. Patrick's Day, here we go. And then she got supplies, and then we got fucked up, or a starter. This is when I'm learning about, what is it called? Pre-gaming?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's when I learned that. And then we went to a party, and then I tried to dance, and everybody looked at me like I was super fucked up, which was like, I'm tipsy for the first time, but like, I'm handling okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking we dancing, but it freaked people out, and I was like,
gosh.
But it caught the attention of one dude, and that dude ended up being my boyfriend for like 2.5 years.
Oh my gosh.
And like that's in that relationship, that's when I smoked weed for the first time. And I was like, I love it, I hate it, I love it, I hate it, I love it, hate it, love it. And now where I'm at is I'll have a drink especially if I don't have to pay for it. And
yes.
And I smoke as my heart and anxiety desires. And I don't know, eventually I'll probably not like that. But as far as like, I mean, I was in church a lot, so like very judgy older ladies and ladies just period. Everybody's eyes is on you, so you try your best not to be ratchet and a mess. But, everybody has a little bit inside, you know what I mean? I'd rather embrace it and watch people and not judge people than to sit somewhere from a high horse and be like, so not saying all religious people do that, but I'm just saying it's very common.
It puts people in a tough spot because...
I'm going to try one of these.
Yes. It puts people in a tough spot because I'm not a religious or church-going person, but it seems like church is a lot about these are the tenets by which you have to live, and everybody's going to judge you on whether or not you're living by those tenets. But in your heart you might be a freak, and that has to be quashed or done in secret. And I don't know, I think you should live your life however you want, and as long as you're being a good person and you're not a serial killer.
That's where we draw the line?
Well, okay. I could continue the list of things, but, in principle. As long as you're not killing people, touching people inappropriately, stealing from people, then, you should be able to...
the commandments kind of stand.
Yeah.
I heard somewhere or saw something about the commandments. Like, there was, like, similar tablets of things, but like a longer list. And so like the commandments are like a modified version of that longer list.
Yeah.
You hear all types of things. I'm not in a rush to die, but sometimes I fantasize that those answers will get met, or a good conversation will be had at the end, or something like that. Sometimes I think I'm not necessarily on the right path just because of that religious background, and there is some inner judgment that I do with myself. Like, you went from praising the Lord to doing pussy jokes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is, so I mean, I pray in my own time, but it was a big difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Okay, so you finished with your college education.
Yeah.
And what did you study?
Oh, so in a split decision, when they ask you, you have to write what you want your major to be. In a split decision, I wrote psychology.
Okay.
Started taking classes and was failing miserably, and just like I was getting by okay in high school, and I was like, okay, this is a whole different rodeo, and I was like, man, like basic psychology 101, like algebra, I was not doing good in, all types of things. I was like, oh, and I was stressed. And then I got in a relationship, like my first actual like real relationship, and it was like crazy. And I just anyway, so I was like, but I started to notice that my sociology classes I really liked, and I thought were interesting, and I always had a good time, and all this did well. Even if I didn't like study hard, I still had like good hunches in it that got me far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I need to double major. You know what I mean? I was like, but that's a more workload.
Yeah.
I found that out later. I still did it, and I was like, oh, okay. Hello, academic probation.
Oh,
I'm almost out this bitch. So eventually I dropped the psych, and so I have a BA in sociology.
okay. And did you have aspirations of doing something in that field, or were you already just starting to get kind of itchy feet about getting out of education completely?
Well, one of my favorite sociologists of all time is W.E.B. Du Bois, or Du Bois, if you will. And he inspired me a lot later, but then I thought I didn't know of him pretty well, and I was like, what if I'm a scholar? That would be dope.
Yeah.
But like I said, paperwork and
Yeah.
adulting and studying
And the cost. Let's be frank. Yeah.
I mean, to get a PhD and to thesis is and it's just I mean, I still think one day that like comedy is gonna pop for me, where I have cushion money, where I'm like, you can either do a side hustle of some kind, or further your education, or or just work on that dream house, or something like that, buy your mama house or something, like something like that. I think it's gonna pop off for me. I still have like some leery education dreams, just because when you go through it, you're like, I went through it. It's kind of like I still have my CDLs. Like, I went through it, and I'm like, that is an option if I want to do something else. I don't know, but that's crazy.
You drive your own tour bus around the country?
Hell no, I'd be in the back, sleep or smoking. That's what I would be. Because I gave up driving a lot. I gave up driving for a week. I figure you should pick one or the other,
Yes, that's probably a good course. So, did you? So then I surmise you went into driving, or you said earlier you went into kind of a lazy period.
That was before truck driving.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
I truck drove for like 3.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So on and off 3.5 years.
All right.
But and before that, like, there was a lazy period, but before that I was really trying to grind. Like, I just a big, like, as soon as I got out of school, I tried corporate. You know, of course, you try to find that 9 to 5 and live that life. But computer work, paperwork, I just can't. And or the bare minimum, and jobs where it depends on that, they need better skills. Have you ever heard Patrice O'Neal's "I Can't Type It"? Well,
I need to look it up.
So I tried corporate and it just didn't work. I tried to do some like social work ish, ology ish type work, environmental, childcare, different things, cleaning companies. I tried so many things until I just got into that lazy period. It was sad. It was just partying with no right to. Like I did not deserve to be like just chilling like that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, you sound really hard on yourself in reflecting on that, and
it just, when I look, I don't know. I need to be doing like 2 or 3 things. You know what I mean? Like, to not feel like, lack of a better word, a bum. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many imperfect things about me. I feel like what I can do is try in a career or like,
sure,
do something of that nature. Because I don't know. I look at homeless people sometimes and I'm like, I don't think you just like one bad decision and then boom, you're here. I think it was like a collective things. And I'm like, was it drugs? Was it, I heard from a security to the stars that a lot of homeless people have like sex offenses and things like that. And it's like, and but my whole thing is it's probably drugs. And it's like, I think about that. I try to be not. I don't do anything else but weed and an occasional drink and an occasional shroom. But it's like, even that, I'm like, does that lead to that? Is that still church in my mind? Is that still, I don't know.
That's weighty.
Yeah. So I think it's like I just constantly weigh things. People say I'm hard on myself. I'm like, you think so?
I mean, in the 30 minutes we've been talking, you're hard on yourself.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to be.
Yeah.
I just, in my mind, I think I'm being observational.
Yeah. I mean, sure, but I feel like that judgment is a part of you, like, in a much more, like, hard way than most people.
Like what you mean?
Like, everybody judges themselves, right? Yeah. I mean, something bad might have happened. They're like, oh, I really screwed up in this situation. And they kind of, from that moment, they're like, okay, fine. I'll do better. But then they move on with their life. But it feels like it's much more pervasive. Like it is a part of your life all the time, as opposed to just, when there's a crisis or something big has happened. I'm not a psychologist, Genevieve. I have so many conversations with people that sometimes, I get running themes.
That is something that I've been told, and that is something that I try to. I can't really say I try to work on it. Sometimes I'm just like, I mean, that's how I feel. That's how I think, and I wish I didn't. So it's like,
it's hard to
I would say
behaviors.
Not talk, but I'm on a podcast, and that's kind of the job.
Okay, you've been so open with me so far, but we haven't even talked.
No.
Social security number, please. I got my pen ready. We haven't even gotten to what was your first
I'm a comedian.
open mic.
It's
my slick way of redirecting. No, it all informs, but...
Well, my very first mic was in 2016 in Minneapolis.
Gosh,
and
7 years.
It was
incredible.
cold as shit. And I was dating an older dude at the time, and I just was like, I just need a break from the truck, and I was like, I really want to try this, and so I did, and I was nervous, and I went up there. I didn't have anything prepared, and I just tried it out, and people laughed, and I was like, uh-oh. And I tried it again, and I tried to have a little bit more prepared, but didn't have much. Yeah, I was really off the cuff and off of confidence back then. Because I was like, if they laugh once, I could get it again. And then, yeah, and then I just started walking around with this confidence I probably shouldn't have had, like at all. Like at all. But I see other newbies do it too,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah.
But then, like, I would just walk with this confidence and then, like, people who probably been doing it longer or just had whatever, they just would gravitate to me, ask me questions, and then the next thing you know, I was, like, in the scene for a whole, like, good few weeks. But then the whole relationship went to hell, and I had to get out of that, and I went back to trucking elsewhere and a whole bunch of other shit. And I told myself that when I do it again, I'm going to, like... So I was, like, actually in New York trucking around for a while. But I didn't get out to a mic. Got out to party, but I didn't get out to a mic. And I just, you know, that's another thing that I'm like, everything in time. And I still haven't done comedy in New York. But like, it wasn't until like some things went wrong in New York and I had just went home, and it was 2018. And I was like, fuck it. My friend inspired me too. She's a producer, director, media person, all that things. Precious Media. She put on a play, partnered with some other people and put on a play for Color Girls. And it was in this small artist space. And it was an artist space where like, you could perform here, but you guys could live here in dorms here, and you could use it for like, and there was like a photographer, a director, artist, a painter, like all types. And I was just like, damn it, you know what I mean? I'm over here with fucking fifth wheel grease on my hands and shit, you know, not doing shit that I want to do with my life for real, for real. Like, I'm happy, I'm proud of myself that I got a CDLs, that I could do it and travel to the country, but like, damn it, this was, you know, like, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking, like, touring, like, a big tour of comedy, like, crazy big shot. I was like, remember art that you like? Remember? Like, and...
Yeah, from those early elementary school
everybody's
days.
doing, like, almost every facet of it, like, in a space. And I was like, wow, you can do that? Like, and live? You know? Like, so it's just like, you know, I was just like, fuck it. This is what I want to do. So I started going to mics and in the Detroit area, because that's what really scared me. And like the first one I did in the actual Detroit area, like in the inner city, bomb. Oh yeah. And then it wasn't too much not bombing after that until like finally, like, you just either start talking shit about yourself or you just in some type of capacity. Like, I don't know, a lot of mixed rooms started to work for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just stuck with it. I met Marcus, and he's very much a drill sergeant with comedy. Like, do your mics, do your time, get this much time by the end of the week and everything. And I'll try to adapt some of that.
So you met him up there?
Yeah, Detroit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's originally from Germany, but he grew up in the Metro Detroit area.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then, you're starting to hit your stride. You kind of got serious, started to get more serious about it in 18. You're hitting your stride. What happens in 2020?
Yeah, we're together. Marcus was doing very well. Just won a big competition. Then went out to LA and won another competition, and then like had a lot of stuff booked. He was living out in LA, but he had a lot of gigs coming up in Michigan. And he came home, but then he heard about the pandemic, and so he just packed up everything in LA and came home. And then, like, you know, we basically stayed in his mom's house. His mom had a boo at the time, so she quarantined with him. So we basically had the houses ourselves, and it was like, wow, you really can't do shit at all. And like we were so every night, if you can do it, do it.
Yeah.
Like don't say no to any show. Like even though the drive and the gas and whatever screws you, just like we were very much every day to try to do everything you can. And you know, with him doing what he was doing, like he was like really on an elevated level, just things were happening, and it's just those, it really was, to be honest, I don't want to make the pandemic sound like it was the worst thing for me, because that was only like 3 months where we were like, what is the world coming to?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like you freak out and then it's like, I'm hungry.
But you had finally found your thing, and you had like this support structure with Marcus
Yeah.
to really encourage you and get into that structured.
I mean,
And you liked it
Yeah.
for once. You liked something that you were doing. So yeah, to have that stop, that had to have been the most difficult thing.
I didn't really have too much like non-faith that things would get picked up again.
Yeah.
What I really had was like some like awe, like, because I used to say stuff to myself. Like I hear about manifesting, I don't know all the way how it works other than thinking and saying what you want, right?
Yeah.
But I used to say things or think things to myself like, man, I don't want to do shit. What if the whole world couldn't do shit? I used to say something like that, and then I was like, uh-oh. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know how this manifesting thing works, but I'm not taking credit for that shit, but that's what, I didn't really have too much. At first, I was like, oh shit, like, what is going on? And in Michigan, it was a lot different than Texas. Michigan was like, they playing with your emotions, like, stand on one foot, put your mask on your ear, do this. It was just like, you just asking for too much, just a little too much. And then you got the most liberal conscious, like, but kind of screw you economically and housing way, like, type politics going on there.
Yeah.
And here, they're just like, everything that makes money, keep making money, baby. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, so that's why we came here, because we started to do gigs, and then Michigan got weird again with the policies and laws, and then some shows opened up in the South for like Oklahoma and a couple in Dallas, and we did those shows, and some housing opened up in Dallas, and we were like, let's weigh our odds, like, Michigan keeps we don't know what's happening in Michigan, and see, things are booming here. Like, it didn't register me that Joe Rogan and Kill Tony, because I wasn't like really into them prior, and of course I didn't hear of Kill Tony, but like I've heard comics, like when I spent a little time in LA, I would go to the store to sign up, but I didn't know like the history and all that, and of Joe, but I didn't really like think back to like willy-nilly manifesting. I just, maybe in passing, I'm all like, what if, and so but Dallas worked out for about 4 months, and then I just was like, we were doing the scene, and kind of people were still coming out of a pandemic. Still, it's Texas, but they're still coming out of a pandemic, so it's like, people still figuring it out, but it was stuff to do, and it was nice people and things like that. But I just was like, fuck it, let's go try. I heard, they say Kill Tony they have it in Austin, so let's drive down and try it. And the first night that we drove down, I got on. Yeah.
I had no idea that backstory.
Yeah.
I mean, I used a little bit of conjecture there to say, you got drawn and your life changed forever. Yeah. But if you get drawn and you make a good impression. So was Rogan on that as one of the guests that night?
Not. Okay. The guest was Shane Gillis.
Okay.
I was very nervous. I was watching people before me. I didn't watch the show prior, and I was just watching people before me that night, and I was just like, they're busting balls, but like they seem like nice people. I don't know. And like everybody's out here trying to get on, and it's like I don't like competition, but like I root for anybody who gets on. And then I just had a moment where I like closed my eyes and I was like, what if you got called? Like,
Wow. And you did. Wow.
Like, I tried to like hear my name before I heard my name, and I heard my name. And I was like, oh shit. So, you know, you rush up there, and I didn't, there was only like one other like competition-ish try, or a couple other competitions where it's like, you have to be real tight on your time. And I didn't think about that until I was walking up to the stage, where I was like,
I was going to ask you.
yeah.
You got to do 1 minute.
Because I think at that time, I've done 20, maybe like 3 times in my life, like a 20-minute set. And like, so I was like, I know I have time, but can I condense it? And so I just picked a joke and tried to chop it up, and it worked out. And the interview, I was just trying to be polite and, you know, happy to be there. And,
Yeah.
you know, some funny things came out, and, you know, they worked with me, and they was really nice. Like, yeah, Redman and Tony they've been so nice to me.
Yeah.
Like, and just all of Austin, like, I don't know why, like, in particular, but I feel like I float around and I feel like a princess, and I'm just like, I like this manifested thing, thank God, you know, everything, you know, I don't know, like, my jokes, I have gotten more jokes and have changed and switched them up and fluffed up and cut fat and done whatever you're supposed to do with your jokes.
Yeah.
And I definitely am not the same comic I used to be back when I was in Detroit. But like, but essentially the same foundation of jokes are kind of there. That same initial set that I started to work with. And it's like, wow, you know, you bring it here, people are like, cool. And I'm like, wow, you know. Not saying that people didn't love and appreciate and support me back in Detroit, but it's just a whole different. Man,
Yeah.
very grateful, very grateful.
Yeah. Since you didn't know anything really about the Austin comedy scene before you showed up on that fateful night, and then I assume the conversation driving back to Dallas was, I think we should move to Austin.
Well, we had to.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I did that show, and I did the Kill Tony, and Redman offered me Secret Show that night, and so, like, I immediately started to get booked, like where the drive was just didn't make sense, you know, and then Marcus got on Kill Tony, and then he got the job at Vulcan, and then so it's just
it kind of
we had to
your
get
hand
here.
was forced through no fault of your own other than your talents.
Did the Scorpion community doing comedy?
Yeah. So did you? I just want to like peek inside the brain of Genivive to find out like how excited you were when the Kill Tony, the Secret Show invitation, but then the big news that I saw soon after that was you getting to tour or go on road shows with Rogan.
Oh, I never went on the road.
You
with
didn't?
Rogan.
I thought you
No,
did.
I went on the road with Tony, but I'd never been on the road with Rogan. I've only I've only opened for Rogan at Vulcan and Vulcan.
Okay, well that's good enough. That's the same.
Yeah, I've opened for him a few times, but I never went on the road with him. Yeah, I don't want to put false shit out there.
That's fair.
She's on private jets eating steaks with Rogan and nah.
But you know, obviously everybody knows what a big deal he is, and what a big deal he is in Austin comedy. Like
I am learning and respecting every day, learning more about the comedy that was here prior to this boom.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty cool with a lot of people. I'm still learning a lot, but I'm pretty cool with a lot of people in the quote unquote older scene, and they've booked me and like have shown me a lot of love too. I'm just like Austin overall, man. It's been so nice to me, but obviously, that's, you know, they're a big deal, and Rogan bringing all this mess down here is like, you know, it's kind of his fault.
It's changed the scene. It really has.
Kind of his fault.
I mean, my boyfriend is in LA, so I've gone to the Comedy Store a handful of times, and I kind of know that model. So it is interesting to have brought that to Austin, given the way that the Austin scene was just very loose. You know, you've got some small theater shows, and you have club shows and bar shows. but to bring like such a like an organized. I was writing something recently, and I said the mothership is kind of like this a formal apprenticeship program, because first you have to be a door person, and that gives you more access to being on stage and learning from, these amazing, incredible, name drop worthy comics. And so it really is a much more formal training program that you're going through, and we've never had that.
Yeah. Like, there were some big clubs in Detroit, but like other than the store, I've never seen a door guy program like this. And some of the door guys from the store are like legends to me. Like, they're on their way to being legends and headliners, and like on their way. And I'm very grateful to be a part of it. Like, we had an audition to get it, and I just put forth my best 3 minutes that I think I had, and just tried that manifested thing.
That's all? 3 minutes? You get 3 minutes to impress, and wow.
That was the audition, yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. It was cool. I mean, it's pressure. And it was at the end of a secret show, and secret shows are already so long.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you at the end, it was like, oh, please, people, wake
down.
up and be good, Come on, have some coffee.
Yeah.
But it was cool. And I was in bed, and I got that call, and I was like, well, here the fuck we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
See what this shit is about to be like, here we go. I'm excited. Like, it's cool every day. It's like you want to be there more, but you have to like also go do shows and develop a career and like be a human, like, deal with human needs and things. But it's like I know you can't be there all the time, but it's like, you kind of want to be. Like, anytime you're not, I feel like I'm missing out, but I'm like, it's pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah. And you've done a really good job of like having your feet in both, if I can call it, the two scenes. There's the mothership scene, but then there's the old classic scene. Yeah. And like, you getting to headline the Velveeta room, that's considered like a classic room.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that runs the Velveeta. Taylor, comic Taylor, what's his last name?
Dowdy,
yes.
Yeah.
Taylor Dowdy, super funny comic. He hit me up, and I was like, hell yeah, And Velv has its own, it has its own history too. It has its own like attraction too. Like, some of those people are like, let's see what's at the Velv tonight, or it has its own. It brings its own audience. Yeah. So I felt like that helped a lot with the promotion too. Mm-hmm. I was able to do. Like, was it three sold out shows? Like, it was pretty dope.
Yeah.
And we did some marketing and some promoting, but I feel like a lot of that has to do with the reputation that Velveeta has too, and everybody that the famous door guy.
Michael Parks.
Mike, oh man, I love him.
He's great.
Yeah. So it has that it has that element too. Yeah. So I'm just happy to be a part of it. It's like I got to do that. That's wild. I gotta rethink about these things sometimes. Sometimes, like God is so good, or positive energy and all those things. It's like all those things, and I can't say it's like that for everybody. And I don't want to be like braggadocious, but it's like, man, like it's just so much, like just blessed.
Yeah. I want to ask you a very silly question. Has there been like a moment where like tough guy Genivive has had to come out as a door person, or has everything been pretty chill?
Nah, I mean, we have proper securty in place.
Okay. So you don't ever have to
nobody's be looking for me like, don't make us get Genivive. Like, no, nobody's doing that. I'm all like, hey, the bathroom's over there.
Nice.
Thanks for coming. How you doing?
Here's your seat. I want to ask, I'm not sure we're going to do our card game, but there is one question that I've been asking.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I want you to think about your current favorite joke.
Okay.
And without telling me the joke, I want you to tell me why it's your current favorite? What makes it make you so happy?
It's a classic, but like, but up, set up, boom. I like those when I get them. If I have to do expand upon or whatever the fucks, I'll do them as they come. I like it though. It's pretty traditional, but it's very unique and it's mine. And it was like from real life, but everybody can feel that. And I want more like. It's so damn relatable. Like you're mad at me. You know what I mean? Like, well, that was just nail in the head right there. You know, that's what I want. I want more of those. I have to get more in tune, but. Yeah, that's why it's my favorite.
You said it was a classic. Is it something that you've had since like your early?
No, classic as in like
just the setup punch. Yeah.
No, I got that either this year towards the end of last year. I feel like it was this year, but I just like rotate it. No matter where I put it, I like it. It's fun. Like no matter where I put it in my set, I like it.
You've talked about your dislike of paperwork and things of that nature. Your first mic, you came unprepared. What is your style today? Do you do more formal preparation and writing, or is everything still like just basically in your head?
At this point, sometimes it doesn't work out when I try to rearrange it weird. Like sometimes I'm like, if I don't have actual brand new spanking hot off the presses jokes that I want to try, then let's play with what I have. And sometimes I play a little too much with it where it's like, that's just weird. And I just, I got laughs, but I'm not happy. But I have a favorite 20 that I have. I like doing longer sets because I bring a lot of stuff out the graveyard and just fluff it up and see what happens. Or you have to be on the spot, or it forces you to do crowd work. I don't do that much. I'm doing more now, but just sometimes I just say the wrong thing, and the faces and the silence. I'm like, I don't want that. Like, ew. Like, I'm just stick with the script,
Yeah.
But like, when you have to change, you have to adapt, and Mothership is always like I come in with a game plan, but I'll leave with a drawing board or something to look at, and every opportunity I get around town or out of town is just like, I walk away with it like, this is how I try to be prepared, but different results happen, or sometimes you exceed your expectations. It's like, damn, that was bad. That was like pretty good,
Yeah.
But my process, I have a whiteboard, I have a phone, I have notebooks. I listen back to sets, I stare at things, I ponder. I try to like have a few like core circle people I call on a daily basis or a weekly basis, and see if anything stems from there. But I don't want to say I've been having writer's block lately, but I just been, I don't know. But I just been trying to get good at what I have there and not beat myself up for not necessarily having hot off the press and stuff all the time.
Yeah. I've talked to so many comics who would tell me that when they first started out and they started going to open mics, they thought they had to write new sets like every time they went up. And so I think there's like this innate pressure sometimes that comics put on themselves that they have to constantly write new stuff. And sometimes there's a block and you just kind of wait it out. And I mean, you're in a great position because you're getting to watch comedy all the time, basically, and some of the best.
Yeah.
So something's going to spark.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, because of all the cool people that come through there and I get to watch them all, a lot of times it's like, whoa, you could do that? Like, or like wow, like, that's beautiful. Like, I did Alamo Draft House last night, and, like, it was this comic from New York. I think his name was Andrew. He has a very unique style. Man. I was just like, man, that's beautiful. Like, and then I went up and did what I did, and I was like, that could be beautiful, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Until I get... I need to manifest more of that.
Yeah.
I'm doing other stuff.
And you're also in a unique position because you have a partner who's also a comic who kind of understands the stuff that you go through. And you sound like you're like a yin and yang, where he's much more disciplined.
Yeah,
And you're more like, not
We're-
loose, but just,
we're both. He's more disciplined. Like all the paperwork and money and all the things I can't do, he does.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then like all of the like, some boy, hey, remember we're human and we gotta go socialize and like do human things and like, you know, and he'll decorate and I'll clean or like it's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's we try to write together sometimes. Like sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Like he has some jokes that's inspired by our relationship and things like that, and you know I have some jokes that's inspired by our relationship. But like we've tried to do podcasts like together several different times, start them up, but I just get weird when I have to be the dictator, the creative control of how it goes, and because like. We don't really have conversations between us that really probably belong on air, you know?
Yeah.
So that's a little part. So it's trying to, and then beyond that, we don't have anything else that interesting to talk about between us other than comedy a lot of times. Or, like, and then some talking shop, not necessarily is an on air thing. It can be. I mean, there's Sports Center, right? You know?
Sure, yeah.
But, you know, those guys get in trouble all the time talking shit about people and tweeting and shit. Like,
Yeah, and I don't see, because I'm trying to think of other couples in Austin who podcast, and the names that jumped right out are Casey and Kat.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, they can pull it off because they're just being silly.
yeah.
I don't see you and Marcus as, you know,
Yeah, I'm
absurdist silly like that.
Yeah. I want to be looser like that, but
In time. In time.
but I'm also like older. And I don't want to be.
Yeah. It would be hard to go backwards
Yeah.
into that.
At this point, it's gonna have to be some clever shit. Like I don't think my body is I can't. Just thinking about Casey, I'm like, I'm so tired.
There's got to be knee surgery and
Oh man, God bless that
down in
body.
his future. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you want people to know about you?
About me?
Yeah, about you.
As far as UFOs are concerned, I heard a joke the other day from Comic Con in New York, and basically he's like, what if we find out that like aliens are black, and then like they come back and it's like, hey, we taking all the black people. It's like, be careful what you manifest, because one time I said, what if everybody had to stay home? So I'm just saying, as far as UFOs are concerned, just don't be alarmed if all the black people leave the planet. It's one thing that I think could happen. You know what I mean? Self-driving cars was a thought one day.
Yeah.
I said, you see them all around.
Oh my God.
They crack me up. It's so hard not to like stop and stare every time you see one and be like, what is the world?
Yeah, yeah.
This is life.
Well, I want to know, what does Genevieve manifest for Comedy Wham? That's what I want to know.
Yes. I think y'all are awesome. And I think that you guys are going to go into different states and markets. And well, I don't know how large you want to be, because some people like to keep it low key and like keep it in the scene and keep it like, I don't know what y'all goals are, but I support them.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, you know, what I have learned, because we are in Austin, because I'm here in Austin, so I know the scene pretty well and can keep up with all the events and find out, you know, there's a show that got canceled, so I pull it. And I can talk to a lot of the comics. But opening in Dallas and Houston has been challenging, because we really need a local champion who can do that. I can't keep up with all of the shows happening in 3 cities. So
Right.
I'm realizing that while the competitive, ambitious side of me really wants to take what we have and grow it, I think logistically, I can't, because I can't, I can't be following every single scene.
I definitely understand because it's like you like everybody's individual art as a comic, and then you like your own, but there's a part of you like competitive. Like I don't like the competitive side because it goes too far. It's
Yeah.
like I want to be like straight murderer. Like I
Yeah.
want to be a psychopath. Like
Right.
when I walk in the room, it's just gut busting, crying, farting, excusing yourself. Like I just can't take this no more. Like I just want to like give that, but at the same time, it's like, you know, where you are.
Yeah, you got to keep your sanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, Genevieve, are you ready for your closing question?
No, is that where we pick a
Oh,
card?
let's go ahead and do that.
Okay.
We're fine on time.
Okay.
Okay, so pick the card that you want to answer. We've got 2 in front of you. Okay, so that's going to be yours. I'm going to read that one to you. Read that
this.
one to me.
Okie doke. My guilty pleasure is
Chocolate.
Really?
Always chocolate.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so
I don't
easy.
hate it.
Yeah.
Do you prefer milk over dark?
I am biased towards milk, but I know that dark is healthier, so I
Yeah.
try to do dark more because
That's the
of
only reason why we eat it.
Yeah.
Because like we heard it was healthy. It's like, or aphrodisiac. So it's like,
Yeah.
whatever.
The chocolate covered cherries. Have you ever had the Bing cherry, or it's sour, as opposed to the maraschino, which is gross and sweet?
No.
That's chocolate covered.
No. I just like
Those are the
chocolate
best.
covered strawberries.
Ooh, that's good.
From edible arrangements, I like those.
Okay, since you are newer to Austin, let me recommend around Valentine's Day, drop a little note for Marcus to say, buy me chocolate covered strawberries from Amy's Ice Cream.
Amy's.
They only do it around Valentine's Day. It's the local ice cream place. Theirs are incredible because they use a Belgian chocolate.
Ooh. Okay.
You will not regret that.
Amy's.
Yeah.
I'll write that down.
Yeah.
Amy's ice cream?
Amy's Ice Cream.
Okay.
Yep. All right, I'll let you do that. I'm going to
Sorry.
stall a little bit before I read off your question because I know I can't write and listen at the same time. Doo-doo-doo. All right, Genevieve, your question is, I've always wondered if it's normal to...
Wonder too much. I heard, Sadhguru, one of those famous gurus. He goes around and he said that at the beginning of his journey, you don't really know you're on your way to being a guru.
Yeah.
But like kinda, and it started off with, a tree. What is a tree? This. What is it that? Questions. Questions in comedy can be good, and I just wonder a lot. Just sometimes, is it manifesting, or is it this, or is that, or is it just you need to shut it down? You know what I mean? Like, and it's gotten me where it's gotten me in comedy, and I appreciate that, and I want to go further, and whatever success for me is, I want to achieve that. But every time I try to think about one thing, it's like it's so many things around it. It's like this weird sociological circle web map shit that I constantly do when on a daily basis. That's why I try to drown out in my phone a lot, or like when I can sleep, I try to sleep. But like, just spending time with this head is just it's a lot of time, a lot of it's a doozy.
It's the only one you've got.
Yeah.
It's hard to escape it. Okay, so your closing question. One word to describe your future.
My future? I'm trying to think of a good synonym. Abundant.
Oh, I like that. I hope so. I hope so. All right. Well, that is a wrap on Comedy Wham presents Genivive Clinton. Genevieve, tell us where we can find you on social media and your upcoming projects and shows.
Yes, you can follow me on C Genevieve at Instagram, Genevieve Janelle Clinton on Facebook, and I have a Twitter. Don't do much with it. Have a TikTok. Don't do much with it. You can do whatever you want there. But yeah, I post on Instagram all the time where I'm at on my stories or post the flyers for my shows. Check me out. I'm doing something weekly, so come see me.
Yeah, I just saw one of your recent, like, these are my upcoming shows. I'm like, okay, she's really busy right now. So that's good. That's what you want. That's what you want. And you can catch, we can catch you at the Mothership as
And you
well.
can catch me at the Mothership, at least 3 times a week. So come get tickets and come check out the Mothership. Come say hi.
Nice. All right. Well, we hope you've enjoyed learning about how Genevieve got to be the comedic genius that you heard today, just as much as I have. This has been Comedy Wham presents Genevieve Clinton.
Mom would disagree.
I'm Valerie, and that's been funny. Thank you so much, Genevieve.
No, let me not do that. She actually said, she said I was smart.
Ah,
Yeah.